Today we'll discuss about the HANA licensing part. HANA licensing part. SAP HANA licensing. SAP HANA licensing part here, right? So license. Why? Because HANA is a proprietary commercial software. To use the HANA database, so we need a license. It's not the free, right? It's a crucial for accessing the HANA and utilizing the HANA database. It's a futures, right? So let's discuss about the like what are the licensing model we have in the HANA database here. There are the two types of licenses we have in the HANA database. One is the temporary license temporary license. Second one is called the permanent license. Temporary license and permanent license here, right? So temporary license means it's valid for 90 days. Temporary license is valid for 90 days and it expires and in case of it is expired, system is will be locked and normal operations are not possible, right? So temporary license is only valid for the 90 days. By default, during the installation, you will get the HANA temporary license, 90 days temporary license you will get here, right? So once the temporary license is expired over, then your HANA system will be locked for the operations. In between, you need to apply the permanent license. Permanent license, we have to apply it here. So the permanent licenses. So permanent license will be granted upon the customer request, valid till a predefined expiration date. So whatever the date you give, so that is valid. Or if you don't give, it will be permanent. It will become right. So that is the means standard lifelong. So there are the predefined expiration date. Either you need to predefined expiration date or standard. So permanent license is permanent here, right? That is the main thing here. Okay. So permanent licenses here, right? So in the permanent license also, SAP splitted the permanent license into the two types again here, right? So one is the enforced license, enforced, enforced license, and second one is called the unenforced license here, unenforced license. Okay, so normally temporary during the installation time, you will get the 90 days temporary license. If you go to the here, if you go to the if you go to the HANA Studio, so right click on the system DB, go to the properties. There is a license tab. Here you see the licenses here, temporary license, right? So start date 22 April. Now, so expiration date July 21 means April, May, June, July. So which means 90 days, right? 90 days license you got it here, right? So that is the one thing. To want to apply the license, just click on the install the license. Then you can just expose the you can just generate the license, your database license, and you can import it here. So that's why we have the license request will come here, right? So that is the standard temporary license here, temporary license here, right? So in the temporary license here, so that is fine. But before the expiry, you need to apply the permanent license here. The permanent license has two types here, enforced and unenforced here, right? So enforced license is based upon the main memory usage, restricting the system to license the memory limit here. Enforced enforced means limitations here. It's a limitations here, right? Suppose based upon the memory usage, you can purchase the you can use the that much of memory. Enforced here, right? Unenforced means it's a no lockdown, nothing, no lockdown, so no limitations. It's a permanent here, which means it's a enforced means a limitation. This is the unlimited usage. Suppose example, so this is the your HANA system. Okay, in this HANA system, this is the memory slot, RAM memory slot here. Suppose like example 1 terabyte RAM. So currently HANA is using the 300 GB it is using, right? 300 GB memory it is using. But because HANA license is based upon the main memory usage, main memory consumption. How much memory you are using, you need to pay for that much of license. Okay. So here enforced license is like a enforced limit. Suppose you applied the permanent enforced license, but that is only 900 GB only. You purchased only 900 GB only. Means the threshold is 900 GB only here, right? Then HANA will keep on using the all the memory data is coming. At the particular time, the threshold is reached. The usage of the memory consumption limit is reached here. Then immediately HANA will be locked here. HANA will be locked and all the applications will get disconnected here. Means based upon the main memory consumption, the restricting the system to licensed the memory amount here, which means the limitations will be applicable here. The limitations will be applicable here. Why? Because it's a limit. You purchased only 900 GB only, even though you have the 1 terabyte, 900 GB only you purchased means it will use only 900 GB only. Immediately system will be locked for the operations. If the system HANA database is locked, the application, the SAP application which is running on top of the HANA database, that will be shut down. That will be shut down here. That's what it will happen in the systems here. That's what it will happen in the systems here, right? So that is the enforced here, right? So when the unenforced means it's there is no limitations here, right? It's keep on using how much RAM you have is there, then it will keep on using that much of RAM also. So you don't need to know HANA system lock, nothing will happen here. Here HANA system will be unlocked status, nothing, no operations, nothing will be impacted here. Only enforced the limitation, the limit is over. Example, the prepaid and postpaid phones, right? Prepaid SIMs means, so suppose like you have, suppose earlier we have the, suppose like 50 GB recharge coupon. If you do, you will get the 30 rupees or something, right? Then you are allowed to use only that 30 rupees only. Once the 30 rupees balance is over, then your phone will be locked, right? So that is the phone will be locked means your calls you will not able to make a call. That is the enforced here. Unenforced means it's a postpaid. Postpaid means, you know, right? Unlimited. Postpaid means unlimited here. Okay. That is the unenforced here. Right. This is about the HANA licensing. HANA, to apply the HANA license here, you can go to the HANA Studio. Then if you apply to the system database, the tenants will take the precedence over from the system database, precedence over from the system databases here. That is the licensing part here, right? So this is the place HANA Studio level we have to apply the HANA licensing and everything here, right? So that is the HANA licensing part here. Okay. So yeah. So here also same, it will take the precedence over. You don't need to apply from the all the areas here. If you apply to the system database, the tenants will take over the precedence from the system databases here. Okay, very simple small concept here. Temporary and permanent license here. Okay, the next one. So HANA Delta Merge. SAP HANA Delta Merge operations. Okay, so what is this delta merge operations, right? What is this delta merge operations here, right? So delta merge and save point, this is also one of the interesting topic, very interesting topic. That is the internal, it will happen. This delta merge and save point will happen. Interesting, and internally it will happen here, right? So what is exactly it will happen here? What exactly it will happen here? What is delta merge here, right? So normally the main memory is divided into the two types here. Normally the main memory is divided into the two types here. One is the delta storage, second one is the main storage here, DS and MS. DS and MS here, delta storage and main storage here, DS and MS here, right? So this is the RAM slot. So every table they have the delta storage and the main storage. Then whenever any data comes to, first it will come to the delta storage only. Delta storage only. Why? Because delta storage is optimized for read plus write plus and compression mechanism here, right? But main storage is only optimized for the read plus compression mechanism only. Read plus compression mechanism only here, right? So whenever anything, so the data comes to the here, right, delta storage. So then here the transactions and everything will be computed. Then once the transaction is committed here, then the data will move to the main storage here. The data will move to the main storage here. Data will move to the main storage here. This procedure is called the, so data will move to the main storage here. This procedure is called the delta storage here. Why? Because data directly will not write into the main storage. Main storage operations are very costly. Why? Because there are already the committed data already will be available. Previous data already available in the main memory. So again, directly executing the transactions and everything here, the already the committed data is available in the main memory. So if the transaction is directly committing to the main storage, means it will affect to the other transactions as well. So to avoid this kind of things here, so what we have, the delta storage is available in front of the main storage. So first all the transactions will be executed here. If the transaction is committed means in our layman language it is the completed. So if the transaction is committed here, so then the committed transaction will go to the main storage. It will be stored into the database table level here, right? So that is the delta storage. Delta merge means merging the delta storage data with the main storage is called the delta merge operations. Okay, so delta merge operations here. Okay, so but after that this will be happen in the main storage level this will happen. But you have the storage also, file system also, you have the data in the, you have the file system also, operating system level, you have the file system also here, storage. So here you have the slash ana data, here you have the slash ana log folders also available here at the operating system level. So here, sir, you mentioned like, yeah, all the data is storing into the main storage only, but main storage means RAM is volatile memory, right? Volatile memory means temporary memory only. If the, if you stop the HANA database or something is happened, so then immediately whatever the data is there in the main memory, everything will be deleted. Everything will be flushed out. In that case, how the memory will come back again, which means, so one copy of data storing into the main memory, then one more copy of data will store into the data folder level. Data folder level at operating system level. Data folder level, it will store it here. So every 5 minutes once, every 5 minutes. So every 5 minutes once, so the save point will happen. Save point will happen here. Every 5 minutes, the save point will happen here. So this save point will do the every 5 minutes once the save point will happen. So whatever the data is there in the main storage, the data will be moved to the data folder level. Every 5 minutes that will happen. It is called the save point interval. What is save point means? All the committed data will move from main storage to the OS level data folder level. That is called the save point interval. Right? So then what about the delta storage means? So whatever the data is there in the delta storage, once the transaction is committed, the committed data will move to the main storage. Suppose example, you are going to book the ticket. You are going to book the ticket here, right? You are going to book the ticket here, right? So committed data, you are going to book the ticket. So the ticket, you have opened the IRCTC from that time to, and you are going to the, you are selected the seat, and you are going to the payment gateway, and your payment is successfully completed, then ticket is booked. Until then your transaction will stay in the delta storage only. Why? Because till then your transaction is not completed. When the ticket is successfully booked here, then your transaction is successfully committed. Then the committed data will go to the main storage operations. Main storage operations here. Then once the data is available in the main storage operations here, then same data will go to the data folder level. Data folder level. Why? Because so to ensure the consistency, and also why? Because main storage operations are means data is residing into the RAM level. So when you restart your system, definitely all the data will be gone. So then again, how the data will come means one copy of data storing into the data folder level. So to avoid this kind of things, so one copy of data storing into the data folder level. Again, whenever you're starting the HANA database, when you are starting the HANA database here, suppose example, you are starting the HANA database, HANA start. Suppose example, now let me show you here. So we have the HDB system is there. Then if you use the free -G, what is the memory? 9 GB currently is using. 9 GB currently the HANA database is using here, right? 9 GB. So now what I'm going to do means 9 GB memory data is getting used here, right? So now if I just stop the HANA database, everything will be gone. Let's see here what will happen. So I'm stopping the HANA database here. Right, it is stopped here, right? If you use the free -G, see here 9 GB to 9 GB to, then it's reduced to the 3 GB here, means 6 GB data where it is gone. Then so it's related to the this HANA database. 6 GB data got gone, right? All the data got released from the main memory. Sir, this is released now. So when I am starting the HANA database, what will happen here? Right? Why again data will coming to the HANA database here? Well, because all the data residing into the main memory. Then when you stop it, all the data will be released from the main memory to data folder level. When you're starting here, what will happen here? Now it is taking some time. See, it is taking some time, completely not started here. What will happening in this gap here? So whatever the data is there in the data folder level, again that will be reloaded to the main memory. Again the data will be reloaded to the main memory here. So when you are starting the HANA database, when you are starting the HANA database, data from data folder to the main storage level will be reloading here, right? That's what it is happening here when you are starting only. So here there is a sequence of activities will be performed when you are starting the HANA database here. The first one, right? So first one, the row store tables will be loaded first. Row store, the tables will be loaded. Row store tables will be loaded first here, right? Row store tables will be loaded here, right? So then secondary indexes will be created, and for the row store tables, then the column store tables will be business tables will be loaded, right? Then roll forward, roll forward and roll back, roll forward and roll back statements will happen. So these and all the 5 steps will be performed when you are starting the HANA database. The data will be loaded to the main memory. These are the 5 steps will be performed here. The first, right, row store tables will be loaded. So data folder level, not only here you can see it is started. Then free -g, then again the GB is started using it here, right? So which means the memory got again reloaded to the data here, right? So what will happen here when you're starting the HANA database? So immediately all the data will not be started. There is a steps will be performed here. First row store tables will be loaded from here to first row store tables will be loaded from the data folder to here. Then secondary indexes will be created for the same row store tables here. Then column store tables will be loaded from the data to main store for. Then roll forward, then roll back will happen. Right? What is mean by roll forward and roll back here? Roll forward means forward. So the transaction is committed. It's not saved into the data folder level. Then, so here we have the log folder also here. Here, all the frequently every the frequently all the logs will be written into the log folder level. Before the transaction coming to the here, same data before the transaction is coming to the here. So then immediately it will write into the log folder level here, right? The logs, the transaction logs will be stored into the /nr log here. Transaction, the logs will be stored into the here, right? So then what will happen? Transaction logs will be stored into the here. Then what will happen here? So in case of the transaction is committed but not saved into the database level, data folder level permanently, the transaction will go forward, will be saved into the data folder level. So rollback means the transaction is not committed, but not committed in between. It is going to book the ticket in between, your system is down, then the transaction is not committed there. In that case, then your transaction will be back to the normal status here, right? Sometime maybe if you observe it here, so there is a bus ticket, so you are also booking and that person also trying to book it out here. Then when you are trying to book it out here, the seat is reserved and others will show like that seat already, others will show like the seat is already booked, and then you are booking, you are not completed the transaction here. Then when you are trying to do the payment, your system is down, there is a ticket is cancelled, your transaction is not completed first of all. Then in that case, again the ticket will be free, not booked status. It will go to the not booked status, which means the transaction is going back, roll backing. It's roll backing here. Well, because you are not booked, you have selected the seat, then you are doing all the payments, transactions, OTPs wrong. You are not getting the OTPs or something not completed. It's going to be a completed. Then immediately system is down, then what will happen here? The booked, the selected seat means you are not booked. The selected seat will be free. Others can go ahead and book that same ticket here. That will happen. That's called the roll back. That's called the roll forward. Roll back, roll forward, and roll back and roll forward here. Right? Row store tables will be loaded. Secondary indexes will be created. Column store tables and roll forward and roll back statements will happen here. That is called the right. So HANA delta match and save point interval. Delta match and save point interval here. Okay, very interesting topic. So that's why because these are the internally it will happen. You are not going to perform anything here. Internal mechanisms. So internally, system will take care of these mechanisms and everything here, right? Delta storage and save point interval. Internally means here we can see here to operating system level as well. Here we can see that one in the operating system level also. Here if you go to the trace log file, that we can see it here, right? If you want to manually perform it here, then you can go to the catalog here. So go to the tables if you want to manually perform. So in the catalog, we can also create the tables manually also. Here you can also create the tables, right? We discussed about the catalog. So catalog where that all the tables are exist and everything here, right? Here we can see the all the tables will be located in this catalog, right? So not only custom tables, you can also not only standard tables, you can also create the table. Suppose like I'm going to create the so Z training table, training related table I'm going to create, or because all your training data, so name, right? So then email ID, all your training data, I'm going to create one database here, storing the database here, email, then phone number. So all I'm storing it here. Then so I'm storing into the column storage level, right? Not the row store table. Column store tables are very fast here. So like one table I created here, one table I created here, you can see one table. See table I created, Z training table here, open data preview. So if I maintain the data here, name, all your names, all your email IDs, all your phone numbers will come. So database level, your data will be saved lifelong, right? So that is the one thing here. So if I map, if I create the one application on top of SAP application, in the SAP application, if I maintain the one form, in that form, all your registrations and everything will happen. So similarly, the data will be stored in this table level here. So if I make it, if I have the one developer, I can make the, so this kind of things I can make it here, right? That is possible here. That is possible here. So that's I created the one table. So if I want this table to be loaded into the main memory, right? So main memory. So this action need to be complete delta storage into memory here, right? So delta storage means loading into the main memory here, right? Unload means you can also manually load and unload also we can do it here, but not always. So in case of what changes are not recorded, that time we can load and we can unload the table including delta storage from main memory into main memory from main memory here, unloading, right? So that is the, it will take. So if the data is not in the main memory, it is in the disk format, it will take some time to load the data, right? It will take unloading the main mem form, it will take some time here, right? Depending upon the size of the table, it will it will take some time here, the data loading and everything here, right? So that is called the, that is called the unloading. So that is possible here, loading and unloading the data here, right? Perform the delta merge. We can also perform the delta merge. So in case sometimes what happened, the committed entries, people will say like we are not able to see the changes in the database level here. Then the committed entries we can move from the delta storage into main storage. All the committed entries we can see from the delta storage to the main storage here, right? All the committed entries we can see from the delta storage DS to main storage here. So that will be happen here, right? That is manually we can perform. So if you want to export the table, import the table, delete the table, so then load the table, unload the table, perform the delta merge manual operation. If you want to create the index for the speed up purpose, if you want to create the index, that we can create the index for that columns, that we can do that one here, right? So that and all the functionalities are possible in the, so system level here, system level, that functionalities are possible here, right? Right click and open the data preview. So the data will be so created here, right? So this table, if you want to delete, create, and if you want to create the new table, new index, new view, so whatever you want to do, we can do it from here. Okay, that is the main thing here, right? So this is the, that's possible, each and everything is possible here. That's why we have the, so committed entries, all the committed data can move to the, so automatically it will move it here, automatically it will move to the, so DS to main storage level here. Okay, that is the delta storage, delta merge and save point. And one, the first topic is licensing, the three topics. Okay, the one more topic, mm, the studio administration, then the next one is like a, yeah, OS level file systems. Okay, let's talk about the OS level file systems here.
Sir, can we show that SharePoint look directory path?
Save point,
I
it will
I try
happen
to check the
automatically.
SharePoint.
Okay, OS
We
level we
can
can
see
check
that.
it out. That's, yeah, operating system level. I'm coming to same topic I'm discussing now. So HANA file systems means in this file system, one of the file system, your data, your save point, all the things will happen here. So otherwise in the index server, if you go to the index server trace file, the diagnosis files, right? In the diagnosis files, this is the place, the diagnosis files here. So all the log files, right? Here also, if you go to the index server trace file here you can see the save point interval here, right? So every save point interval here, save point will happen here. So now, one is the last save point happened 2057. Then after that 19, sorry, 2102 means 5 minutes. Yes, exactly 5 minutes, right? 5702. Then definitely 53. Then then you can see the save point. When is the table save point happened here? So every 5 minutes once the save point will happens. Every 5 minutes the save point happens. So index server, the main actual data resides in the index server, right? Then there we can see the save point related data, all the information here, index server, right? HANA OS level file systems, right? So what is exactly OS level file system means? Whenever you do the HANA installation or SAP installation, it will create the USR SAP SID, right? One folder will be created. That is called the SID, right? Yeah, USR SAP SID. Then sys, then HDB instance number. So then, so yeah, HDB instance number and home directory. This is nothing, just home directory here. HDB instance number and sys. Why? Because USRSAP SID sys. Sys folder is creating here. Sys folder. So sys means system here. Sys means here. So the first one, sys means sys profile. Then so sys global directory, right? Sys exe. They're the three subfolders here, right? So under the USR SAP is the common. Under that you will get the three folders: sys HDB and sys HDB, and you have the sys HDB and home directory here. Under the sys we have the profile directory, global directory, and exe directory here. So profile, global, exe, right? So if you go to the, so CD USR SAP, then you see the HDB. So let me increase the font. Okay. So USR SAP SID. SID means whatever the SID you given, that SID is created here. Right. So under the SID we have the sys HDB home directory here. Right. Sys. If you go to the sys, so here we have the profile and ANA related profiles and the global directory exe. Sys profile and global directory exe directory, HANA related profiles, but nothing will be used here. Global directory, it contains the, so the SSFS keys, some security related settings, and 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 INA files, and INI files here. INI files means, so normally in the studio level we see the, in the configuration tab we see the all the INI files, right? Here also if we go to the global directory CD global, so HDB, the custom config. Here you have the INA files are available, right? Index server, web dispatcher, access engine, global, compute, name server, and tenant related. So this is the path. Sometimes during the interview point of time, this is one of the frequently asked question. Okay, where can we see the INA files? Sir, ANA Studio level configuration files where we can check the ANA configurations and everything. No, no, no. I want operating system level. Where can I check? Right? So then in this case, you need to tell this path. USR SAP SID. So sys global HDB custom config. That path you need to explain. Okay, remember this path. This path. Okay, so then, so the next one, if you do the dot dot slash, it will come to one folder back here. So sys global exe means binaries here. Exe means binaries means executable files here. CD exe here, executable files here. So exe, so executable files. Same HANA SAP level, how we have the kernel directory, same way HANA level also we have the kernel directory. These all are the binaries and the libraries. So HANA system is up and running, HANA process are up and running. So which means because of the this kernels, HANA OS level kernels, binaries here. These all are the lib files, HANA OS level binaries here. If something is happened this library, so entire all the data, your HANA system will be down here. All the Python files, everything will be here itself. Right? This is the HANA executable files here, exe directory here. Right? So global directory, profile directory, exe directory here. That is under the sys. But the main important thing is here, the HDB instance number. Here you have the inside of that, you have the, so exe here, work directory, nothing useful, and host name. This host name KPS4 HANA, this is the host name. Under the host name, we have the trace directory. This is the very star. We can make it as a very star important directory, trace directory. So in this trace directory, you see here all the log files here. So whatever we see in the diagnosis files, similarly how these diagnosis files are coming here because of the voice level trace directory here, name server. So all the web dispatchers, daemon, so web dispatchers, daemon, preprocessor, compile server. So all the log files, because of the all the log files are there here. So which means each and every process will write the one log file here, that log files are here, right? That is the one important thing here. The CD tenant specific CD underscore HDB. Then you can go to here. Then index server related. Why? Because each tenant we have the index server access engine. Then index server access engine related log files are here. So here we can see the, so the save point also here. See what is the current save point happened here. So 2107. 2107 here, previous 2102, right? 2102, right? So that is the save point. You can see the save point implemented, restart the log position, right? So this is the save point here, right? That will happen. So here it will tell you the who stop, so all the information, who is the application name, so administrator, which means I started with the administrator. I'm using the HANA Studio. So then, so all the information, each and everything will be recorded here in the log file. Each and everything will be recorded in the log file here. Okay, that is the one. So now, so 97, right? 97. So 97 we have the system time. 97 we have the, so one save point means again 11. 5 minutes means 12. 12. So maybe in the next 1 or 2 minutes, it's 9, right? Okay, not 2 minutes, one more save point is going to happen here. One more save point is going to happen here, right? If you see, keep on observing the same, you see the one more log will be updated here. But because every 5 minutes save point will happen, whatever the data is there in the main memory, same data will be moved to the, so main storage level here, main storage level here, right? So that is the one. You can see that. So 750 97 save point is happened. The rate started log position is the 928. If you see the previously 902, 5 minutes 97, then 5 minutes 912. See 912 again, right? It got created 912:50, right? So you have the save point happened here. So automatically it will happen the save points. Automatically it will happen the all the save points and everything here. This is the save point mechanism. Save point mechanisms here. So this will be here. Main important thing is like here. So HANA. So host name, and your trace directory. All the log files. All log files will be saved here. All the log files will be saved here, right? So ESR, SAP, SAD, sys, profile, global directory, and exe directory here, right? So then all the log files will be here, right? HDB, instance number, host name, and trace directory. This is the path people will ask you. Here two main important things where the INA files will be stored. Then can you tell me the location of the trace directory? Right? ESR, SAP, SAD, HDB, and instance number and host name. Host name means whatever their operating system host name, that host name and trace directory. All the log files will be saved here. That is the one important thing. Okay. So here all the log files. Here is the place where you do the common troubleshooting, common log file checking, all the information here. Okay. That is the one. Okay, so this is the one. Okay, so plant traces, all the information will be stored into the, this is the directory here, trace. So this is the one common directory here, right? Trace directory here, right? Web dispatcher, trace directory, all the information will be here. Okay, so these are the three topics we discussed today. Very, very important topic. One is the delta merge, save point, HANA licensing, and file systems. So four topics. It's very, very important. So these are the internal. So a lot of questions they may ask you. Can you tell me the location of the trace directory, operating system level, studio level, diagnosis file, operating system level, trace directory, HANA licensing types. What is save point? So what is the frequency of the save point every 5 minutes? Where can I check? In the trace log files, we can check it out here. So this type of questions they may ask you. Okay. So then the next class will discuss more into the catalog. Catalog we discuss the content, data provisioning, HANA security, then HANA upgrades, backups, restore, recovery, replications, high availability, disaster recovery mechanisms. There are many things are there, very, very important things. Okay, so that we will see in the next class. Okay, everybody, please open your HANA Studios, connect to the this common database HDB, then work on just to use the so troubleshooting, voice level logs checking. So installation not always the solution here, right? Normally you won't get any work on the installation part. Of the installation, what we do, that is the main important thing here. Okay, that you need to support it here.
Sir, one doubt. Sir, in OS level, there are 2 to 3 index servers. So, sir, which one we have to check? I mean, how to identify the index server?
Index server will be only one here. If you create the one more tenant, one more index
No,
server. If you
in
create the one
trace
more
directory. Okay, okay, okay.
based upon the SID. So SID means you will create the multiple SIDs, right? Multiple tenants.
Mhm.
Each tenant there is a one SID will be created at the operating system level. Suppose if you go to the CD trace, yeah. So by default you will get the DB underscore HDB, then HDB tenant, the tenant related log files we can check here. So suppose like you created the one more tenant, then the tenant name is like DB underscore HD1. Then here we can check the log files here. If the tenant is available, here we can check the here.
Okay. So,
So
sir,
each tenant
here it
related
is
log
written.
files, each tenant means each
Okay.
index server related log files under the trace directory only.
Sir, in above it is written as index server underscore KPS for HANA component history and unload and executed statements. So, which one is we have to check the logs if the backup got failed or
This one,
something.
the trace directories. Trace directory will give you the all the
Okay,
information.
okay, got it. Okay, sir.
Okay, so please practice it and let's talk on Monday. Okay.
And what will happen